Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Spire Sports Show. I'm your host, Tyler Helfrich, along with my co-hosts, Kyle and Giggs. We're here to bring you the latest in sports, well, I guess football for now, on the Week 3 action. So we got a lot to get through, so we're going to go ahead and just start right in. Let's just jump right into it. So the first thing we got to talk about, we're going to talk about the injury news, the latest injury news. Lots of things to monitor throughout the week. So we have the first one is Chris Carson, and I just want to say I want to go off on this little fucking rant, dude. I'm a Chris Carson owner, right? In one league this year. I've always been a big fan of Carson, and I was super pissed when I watched this play. Like that was such a dirty fucking play, and he should be like I wouldn't go as far as kicked out of the league, but he should be suspended for at least a game and fined because there's no place in football for that kind of shit. Like that's just a dirty play. It's not you're going out there to make a play. You're going out to hurt somebody, and that shit's not cool. That's fucking
I don't
lame.
understand why he had to roll while he was on the ground after he had already made the
Yeah,
tackle.
he was just being dirty. That's what
It
it
made no,
was.
yeah,
It
and
was
I
it was
right
nothing more
away.
than that.
And when they did the replay, the announcers didn't say anything about it, and it blew my mind.
So he looks like he's going to be out 1 to 2 weeks. I did see reports that he could possibly play this week. It's just something to monitor throughout the week. Football Doc. I hope all of you guys follow him. He's on Twitter. He always gives advice. Well, not advice, but injury news updates on that, and tells kind of what he thinks happened and what the timeline is. And he said that he wouldn't be surprised if he played this week because he thinks he's more hurt than injured. So I think that bodes well for Carson. Tariq Cohen, torn ACL. Bummer because you have Nick Foles coming in, but David Montgomery looks real good. Jared Cook left a game with a groin injury, something to monitor throughout the week. Chris Godwin hamstring injury, and I saw some reports that say it's not good. It could be like a multi-week absence, so watch out for that. Goddard ruled out of the game with an ankle injury. Doug Peterson said it could be a few weeks as well with him saying it. So. Mike Williams, does anybody still have him on your team? If so, drop him. He's not even worth rostering. Jerick McKinnon, rib injury. I think it was more cautionary. Kyle Shanahan said he's day to day, so he went out in the fourth quarter. So something to just monitor throughout the week. John Brown, calf. I haven't really seen anything in the news today about him, so something to just monitor. Deontay Johnson, concussion. Probably should play this week. We'll see. Russell Gage hand. I haven't seen anything else. I just saw that he left the game, was ruled out with a hand injury. Jimmy G, George Kittle, Mostert, all day to day. We'll see if all of them go or if any of them go. I think Kittle goes for sure. They probably all will go, except I don't know about Jimmy G. We'll see. Debo is going to practice this week. Now, this doesn't mean that he's going to play. I think he's going to probably still be a week or two out, but at least he's practicing. That's good news. Jamal Adams, if you play defense players, whatever. But this is news because they play the Dolphins this week, Mike Gesicki season, right? And so Jamal Adams, if he's out, I mean, Seattle's going to be up probably big in this game, so Miami's going to have to throw the ball. So I'm really liking this matchup with Gesicki in there. Michael Pittman Jr., unlikely for week 4. And Philip Lindsay should go this week along with Crowder, they said. They said that they both look likely to play this week on a very exciting Thursday night football. I know everybody's really excited for this game. The Broncos and the Jets. Wow. It's going to be ugly.
Wow.
Is there any
what
other
a
team?
great matchup.
Is there any?
Great matchup.
We'll talk about this later, I guess. But seriously, the Jets are worse than the 0-16 Lions. Like this Jets team is so bad. It is so terrible. So, any Jets players you guys have? Except Jay Crowder or not Jay Crowder? Yeah, I keep saying Jay
Crowder
Crowder.
and Bell.
Right? Yeah, like he's the only one I would. Yeah, I guess Bell, but even then, it's like a 60-40 split. I don't understand this. He wants to play Frank Gore for some. I don't fucking understand this. If it were me, I'd be starting LaMichael P. Ryan every single week. Just see what you got out of the young guys. You have nothing to play for this season. Nothing. You're a terrible team. Just play young guys, see what you got going forward. So, anyways, that's the injury news. Let's go into our next segment. On the up and up. Let's go, baby. We got some good guys to talk about here. All Bears players, right? Nick Foles definitely gives the offense a boost. You saw it last week with Falcons giving up another big lead at the end of the game. And I can't fault Dan Quinn that. You gotta. I mean, you have to fault somebody. You can't be giving up these big leads in the fourth quarter. Just makes no sense. Whatever. But different day, you know. Allen Robinson though looked really good in this game. I mean, he's really good, and now you got a quarterback that can get him the ball. Keenan Allen, 20 for 29, all 20 catches out of 29 targets for 228 yards with a touchdown the past 2 weeks with Justin Herbert back there. So, in my opinion, all Chargers get a big upgrade going forward. Next person I'll talk about, and then I'll throw it over to Giggs for a couple of his. But Darrell Henderson. I was big on Cam Akers coming into the season. Oh, it's not looking good right now with him hurt, and uh, Henderson looked pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, like he looked really good, and especially against Buffalo, he just kind of got his way. 20 carries, 114 yards. Um, previous week was 12 for 81. He just looks good, and he's actually, you know, that he's the highest rated running back right now by Pro Football Focus. So I think he's going to be there. And actually, Sean McVay did say today, they asked if he's done enough to earn the starting job, and he said, I think so. So take it for whatever you want to take it, but I believe going forward, he's the guy. So, Giggs, what about you? Any other? Well, I got a couple more, but I'll let you go ahead and take over.
Well, I got Alan Lazard as one of them, especially if Devontae Adams is going to miss any more time with his hamstring. He seems like the go-to guy right after Adams, more so than Vance Scantling. And then I like T. Higgins in Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
I think Joe Burrow and him, they kind of click. And
Right.
there is a lot of weapons out there. Like Tyler Boyd's, he's on the up and up too. He's doing good. 17 for 21, 197 yards and a touchdown past 2 weeks. That's pretty good.
Yeah, he's
And
looked good.
AJ Green's just not getting the ball, and he doesn't look the same.
Well, he's getting the ball. It's just they're not on the same page. I mean, it's what happens when you have, this weird COVID where guys couldn't do their normal thing and get in a rhythm. But I agree. I think Boyd and you have Higgins who has caught the touchdown passes. And I mean, there's a lot of options too. And well, I guess not a lot, but there's different people that they can mix in. And it's going to be a team that's going to throw the football a lot because they cannot run the football. So we'll see. But I agree. And AJ Green, it hasn't been clicking. Maybe it does, but I don't know. We'll see. I agree with Lazard though as well. As long as Adams out, I think he's the number one receiver in this offense. Even Aaron Jones, I mean, he gets a boost, but Aaron Jones is just a stud to begin with. So, I do want to talk about a couple other people here real quick. So Jeff Wilson Jr. You have Mostert probably coming back this week, and McKinnon's probably not that hurt. He's probably going to play this week. But you have Tevin Coleman, lengthy injury history. McKinnon, lengthy injury history. Mostert has been hurt quite a bit as well, if you go look at his past injuries in his career. So Jeff Wilson Jr. in an offense that's so banged up already, I believe, I would definitely keep him on my bench. You saw what he did last week. He's going to get some goal line carries. And this offense just can run the ball on everybody. It's amazing what Shanahan's able to do offensively because it doesn't matter who they play. Their running backs are studs. James Robinson, Pro Football Focus is number 5 running back, 335 all scrimmage yards through weeks 1 through 3, the first 3 weeks of the season, 3 touchdowns with an increasing workload and snaps every single week. Honestly, like he's an RB2, man. He's looking so good right now, and I picked him up a bunch of my leagues except Waz. Freaking snatched him up and little bastard, but he's looking really good. I like him going forward too, especially on a team that isn't going to be that good, so they're going to be passing it a lot. And he got a good amount of work last week and looked good as a receiver. So just somebody who's going to be involved in this offense. There's not much they have going for them, him and Chark, and I guess
Love
Minshew, I
Jeff
still believe in
Wilson.
you. You love Jeff Wilson?
Love him going forward. If whoever gets the ball in San Fran at running back
Yeah.
is going to put up numbers. I think they made Matt Breida look like an all-star. So
I mean, you have Jeff Wilson. I mean, Jerick McKinnon. They all look so good. It's just Shanahan's scheme is just so good. They all look good. So I agree. And the last one, I'm going to talk about your boy Matthew Stafford. I believe in Matthew Stafford.
boy.
Last year was a top 5 quarterback when when he played, and Kenny Galladay and Marvin Jones were on the field. Last week the offense looked a lot better with Kenny Galladay in it. And I think going forward, I mean, this is just the first week, right? Weird off season. It's going to take a little bit of time, but going forward, I think he was 22 for 31 for 270 yards last week, 2 touchdowns. I think going forward, that's just going to go up, and I think that's going to be a good offense as long as we'll talk about him here in a minute. Swift makes no sense. So
I don't know.
anybody else you want to talk about?
I think that about does it for me.
All right, let's talk about a couple guys. I'll take the first 2, and then you can talk about whomever you would like as well. Joe Mixon. This is the killing me segment, man. You're killing me, Smalls. Joe Mixon. Damn it! Drafted him in every single league this year. Son of a bitch. And it's not that he's not getting work. Like, if somebody's willing to trade Joe Mixon, I would go out and get him and see what you can get for him. It's only week 3, so you can't overreact too much, but we're almost a quarter of the season in. And I mean, his numbers don't look that good. He's getting nearly 20 touches a game, so he's involved. It's just he needs to get more involved in the passing game, especially when they're down, which would really increase his value. And they just need to score. When they get close, he's getting some goal line carries, and he's not going forward because that offensive line looks so bad. But, I mean, he's getting touches. He's like a back-end RB1, possibly. It's just not looking too good. He's getting touches, though. And then DeAndre Swift, man. What the hell are they doing? Like, he's, in my opinion, the best back in the backfield. He's the best receiving back. And last week, he gets 5 snaps in week 3. 5 snaps. And I think he catches 1 ball for, like, I want to double check how many yards it was.
It was like 19 yards.
Yeah. Like, get him involved. What is going on? I don't understand. It blows my mind. And I'm more pissed because I made a player prop bet on him for 2.5 catches. And he goes under because he plays 5 snaps. But in 5 snaps, he catches 1 ball for 19 yards. Blows my mind. Deserves more time.
Okay. No, I'm going to agree with you on that one. Why'd you go and draft him so high if you weren't going to use him? And we all know the ageless wonder, Peterson, he's still got some gas in the tank. He doesn't look bad, but everything he does just seems a little bit slow motion now. Like I watched him put a spin move on a linebacker, and just I'm used to him doing that, and he's to the house. But after that, he's just kind of like lost on the field. He's like, "Whoa, where am I?"
Did do a 3? It was like more like a 180 and just looking backwards a little bit.
Yeah, it's just kind of like, yeah, you didn't expect that, buddy. Well, now I'm gonna just hit the ground because I got nothing left.
Took all of his energy.
No, they got to get him involved. And what? Carryon only had like 3 carries too. So if anyone who drafted like both of them are like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's time to drop him, guys.
What about anybody else that's killing you that you drafted or think maybe or killing other people that they drafted?
You got anyone in their backfield other than AP?
Well, yeah. Well, I don't know if you didn't hear me. Like anybody else other than, I mean, don't have to talk about them anymore. Any other guys that are killing you personally?
I got a couple. I got a bone to pick with this Daniel Jones guy, Danny Dimes. Yeah. I'm in a couple 2 QB leagues, and I thought that this guy's gonna have to pass. They might be down. They might be down in a lot of these games, and they'll get some garbage time points. Maybe like a Bortles season, right? He
Right.
can't even do that right now, and it has me legitimately worried because I think I have to go pick up Derek Carr, and I'm actually like excited to get him over Daniel Jones. So if you're running with Daniel Jones as your QB1 in a 12-man, 14-man team, I would suggest getting a new quarterback because he's been killing me, and I had him in a couple leagues. And then another guy I got someone I paired him with, Evan Ingram, 96 yards, no TDs, 3 games, and he hasn't been hurt. Like,
And
I
that's
don't
with
know.
Shepard out last week too.
Yeah, and I'll give him a pass because they're playing San Francisco. Like that
Yeah.
team just seems to be next man up. Doesn't matter. They're just a machine.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, like you got to get me more than 96 yards in 3 weeks. I'm starting to sweat bullets over him.
Especially because he was drafted higher as a tight end too. It's not like he was a late round guy. He's like a middle round guy. So
No, I think his
not returning
ADP was
value.
like 80.
Mm-hmm.
It was somewhere around there, and he was going right around like Hunter Henry. Him and Hunter Henry at like that 6. What was that, like 6'7", 5'6",
Yeah.
somewhere in there. He's not returning those numbers. And then one more guy got Odell. Ouch. Under 10 points twice this season. And I'm not going to completely blame, like the talent's there, obviously. Like if you put him in the right situation with the right quarterback, he'd light up the league. Like you put him on Kansas City, he would just torch everybody.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they run a offense that is just run, play action, run, play action. You got to hope that Odell is the one they're choosing on that play. And then you have to hope that Baker Mayfield can even make the pass. And I'm not saying he can't get it done. Baker Mayfield, he's a fine quarterback, but there's just these times where their timing's off. And because of that, it's the difference between an incomplete pass and a touchdown because he's a home run guy. You got to get him the ball. You paid him big bucks. He's one of the elite receivers. They need to use him. I'd be nervous, not too nervous, but not happy. That's for sure. I don't know. Who else you got that's killing you?
I would say though, if anybody's looking for tight ends, there are a couple tight ends that might be free agents in your league. Mo Alley Cox, Jimmy Graham with the addition of Nick Foles. Jimmy Graham.
You're getting ahead. You're getting ahead. That's on the next segment, dude.
No way. Is it really?
Yes. So you can talk about those guys after. Yeah. Hey, maybe read the show.
Hey,
Kyle,
there's one person. No, there's one person. He's not on there.
Well, you can talk about him.
Yeah, Jimmy Graham.
Yeah, talk about him. All right.
Yeah, there's a guy that I think with Nick Foles in Philly, he was a tight end guy, especially in the Super Bowl because Philly had 2 really good tight ends at the time.
Yeah, but hold on. Talk about him next segment.
Yeah, but we'll talk.
Killing me.
But I got you. I'm just okay. But that's my point about Jimmy Graham. I'll talk about it when we talk about Nick Foles.
There you go. All right. So a couple more here. I do agree with you on Daniel Jones. I do think if there's some hope, right? He played the Steelers, Bears, 49ers. All tough defenses. Has the Rams this week. Probably another tough one here. I mean, I know Josh Allen just lit them up, but this is no Josh Allen, and this is no Buffalo, right? This doesn't really have that many playmakers, like really good playmakers, and also Buffalo's lines. This is probably like the Giants probably have a bottom 5 offensive line right now, so not doing him any favors. And then after that, he has Dallas, very beatable. Washington, beatable, good front 7, so we'll see. Eagles, beatable. Bucks. So I think he has some hope going forward, but definitely I agree with you.
I would say another person I don't think we've mentioned on any shows is Kyle Rudolph. I mean, he's somebody you would expect as a tight end to at least have some kind of output. Some people, I haven't looked on how rostered he is, but I mean, with
Probably
Kirk Cousins, Yeah,
I think
but
the
I mean,
biggest surprise is how much he's getting paid with how little he's
that's
doing.
what I mean. I mean, he's a
It's
guy
sad.
who's he's one of those guys who's considered, a top shelf tight end, but the production has not been there at least for the last 2 years. But he's also a guy who, I mean, he did have the most points he's had all season, so he could be a guy who to look out for though too, if healthy.
All right, so a couple more here. I mean, Deshaun Watson, but also has played, a
Poor
tough
Houston.
stretch. Yeah, just what a terrible scheduling, right? You get probably I wouldn't say three hardest teams in the I don't not the three hardest teams, but Steelers are up there in the
It's
AFC. I
got to
mean,
be
they
3 of the
played.
top 5 Ds.
Yeah, I mean, it's just not very fair for him. But he has the Vikings next week, Jacksonville, Tennessee next 3 weeks. So looking good going forward. J.K. Dobbins, I mean, I don't understand this either. Like, whenever he touches the ball, he looks electric. And it just blows my mind with some of these coaches why they just don't give them the ball more. If they look electric, don't you think you want more playmakers on the field? I don't understand why he's not, he caught up a couple passes tonight when the game was out of reach. Wow. Wow. Great job. Well, how about let's get him more involved when the game's still in contention, and maybe you won't be down so big because you have a playmaker you're giving the ball. Now that makes sense. That's why my Madden franchises, we won 10 years in a row. No big deal, anyways. So Jared Cook, the last one here, 34 receiving yards past 2 games. I mean, that means no Michael Thomas, and now he has an ankle injury. So, and we kind of talked about him earlier as well. AJ Green just hasn't been going. So, let's talk about some of the pickups of the week. Giggs, I'll go ahead and let you lead it off with your boy Nick Foles, right?
Yeah, we got to definitely take a look at Big Dick Nick doing what Mitch Trubisky did in week 1 against my Lions, pulling out 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. The offense looks way better with him. And they gave Mitch a fair chance. Nick Foles is
Very
legit.
fair.
And I think Philadelphia is kicking themselves in the head right now because they kept the wrong quarterback. But
I mean, he hasn't looked that good. I mean, but in his defense, there's nobody in Philly. Jesus, that team,
no,
there's nobody either.
I mean, everyone goes, they run 2 tight ends. Well, then get them both involved more. I don't know.
But
For
his
both of them, it
accuracy all
targets
hasn't
them.
hasn't looked that good either. I mean, he's been missing some throws. So, but yeah, I agree. Nick Foles definitely, because this Bears offense really isn't that bad of an offense. I mean, Mitchell Trubisky's been handicapping them, and those pictures of him, man, just sitting there, he looks so sad. I'm sorry, Mitch.
It's funny.
I
Don't
feel
apologize.
well. I feel bad for NFL quarterbacks because it's such a mind game. A lot of it is. I mean, obviously you have to have talent, but it's also a mind game where some of these young guys, you have a couple bad games in a row, and the fans are already, killing you. So it's tough. But
I just think he's always been
I don't think he's
a
that
little
good.
bit. No, no.
No, no.
I
But
mean, he played
I'm
what? 12?
surprised
I
he
just
lasted
always
this
said it.
long. I thought he
Exactly.
wouldn't start the
That's what I
season.
mean. It's not like he played for like a blue chip school when it comes to college football. I mean, obviously Carolina's a great school, North Carolina, but he played 12 games, and I just don't understand where they got him and all the stock they gave up to get him. I just thought it was such a dumb idea at the time. When there's so many other quarterbacks they could have just probably waited and had a better experience with.
Yeah, but you can say that about a lot of guys. You just
Yeah,
trying
I'm
to go
just
for
somebody who
upside.
Just
believes
remember that
most
Patrick
quarterbacks.
Mahomes and Deshaun Watson went
Yeah,
after Mitch
that's
Trubisky.
where I don't understand is the main one is Deshaun Watson, and I'll never understand that. Deshaun Watson should have been the #1 pick in the draft, or whoever needed him, that quarterback first should have picked him first.
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
Go ahead, Kyle. You talk about your boy Jimmy Graham here and Mo Alley Cox.
Um, I mean, I just think Jimmy Graham has always been a guy who he's been riddled by injuries, and most of the places he's gone, he should have excelled in Green Bay and Seattle and
It's
in New
Kyle
Orleans.
talking.
But
Yeah.
why can you
Can't
not
hear
hear
him?
me?
No.
Oh, um, but I just think, Nick Foles, he's going to be one of those guys. He's
There we
going to have
go.
to get in the swing of things. You're talking, it's a weird season. Obviously, he's playing off a little momentum coming off the bench. There's a lot of hype that kind of, he's been a guy who's came off the bench before, but, when it comes to people game planning against him, okay, Nick Foles is the starter and he's going against a good defense. Things are going to change, but quarterbacks like that, they need a bailout guy. And I think Jimmy Graham could be that guy, and he's a red zone threat, something they're going to need. And I think he proved that this week. I think he was actually kind of dominant. He looked like his old self, but can he stay healthy? That's really the biggest question with him. And he's
$1 million
much
question.
older.
Yeah, I mean, if you need a tight end because this week wasn't particularly that
That's
good
what I mean.
tight
Yeah.
end.
No.
You have Mo Alley Cox as well, which
Oh yeah. I didn't say anything about him because I've just seen his points production, but I haven't really watched him directly, and I have to watch him a little bit more to have any more comments. But yeah, he's a guy who's flown under the radar in terms of fantasy, and it wouldn't hurt to pick him up if your tight ends are terrible or injured.
yeah, I don't think it's that bad either. Jack Doyle came back. I think he had 3 receptions for 51 yards and a touchdown this week. Um, and Philip Rivers, he loves tight ends. He loves those guys coming across the middle. So I think
Right.
could get worse. A couple guys. Well, actually, I'll pass it over to Giggs. Talked about his Justin Jefferson.
Yes, Justin Jefferson, rookie out of LSU. Um, he had his coming out party. Someone I was really big on coming into this year. He went 7 for 9 for 175 yards and a touchdown. He's basically filling in big shoes. Stephon Diggs. I think he can do it. I think he can live up to that challenge, and I think he's a true number 1 wide receiver in years to come. I think this draft with all these wide receivers like Judy,
Mhm.
Jefferson, these guys, I think they're going to be like CeeDee Lamb. They're all going to be bona fide studs. And I think he just needed to gain that confidence and have one of these games under his belt. Now I think it's going to be smooth sailing from there. Only thing I'm worried about really is Kirk Cousins, but it looks like
That's a
they're
lot
playing
to
from
worry
behind a
about.
lot. Yeah, that is. DC Jesus is not paying up. He's not playing up to 35 million. That's for sure. Um, if you need like a quick running back stream for like the next week or two, I know we touched on Chris Carson being hurt and possibly playing this week. Carlos Hyde, he was actually getting a little bit of work even when Carson was there. So if he's hurt, if he's just getting limited touches, Carson that is, I think Carlos Hyde's stock goes up. So if you're looking for a running back you need for the next week or two, if you got a guy on IR like Le'Veon Bell or someone like that, I think Carlos Hyde could be a good pickup and also insurance going forward. If you're a Carson owner, make sure you have Hyde. Carson gets hurt a lot. Um, yeah,
Sure.
but those would be two of my big ones.
Yeah, and Carson plays, or well, Hyde, if Carson's out, plays Miami this week. So definitely a good matchup that they should be up. So they should. Russ will probably cook. He'll cook, right? But they'll probably be up big, and I feel like Hyde will get some opportunity. Um, and obviously, if Jeff Wilson is still there, make sure you go and get him. Even if some of these guys get healthy, I just think going forward he's going to have value because this running back crew is hurt and they're studs when they're out there. It doesn't matter who's out there, so they look good. One other guy I want to talk about is Greg Ward, Philadelphia. I mean, who else? Goddard's going to be out a few weeks this week. Well, for the next few weeks and possibly even longer. So who else? Who else are you going to throw the ball to? I know that people are all excited. Oh, Alshon practice. Yeah, but he's still probably a few weeks out. Like he's not going to play this week. He's probably not going to play the week after. Maybe might play. The football doc said 3 weeks. So I'm going to trust what the football doc says. Say 3 weeks. Greg Ward. Who else are they going to throw the ball to? Had eight receptions on 11 targets for 72 yards and a touchdown. At least it gives you a little bit of hope if you're desperate at the wide receiver position or have some guys that got hurt and you need a flex. I think he's a decent guy going forward. And then the last one, Kyle wants to talk about this. But before, if you're enjoying this content, which we know you are, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. And go and share with all your buddies that, guys, I listen to this sports show. They give me the best advice. Go tell them about it. You know what I'm saying? Or ladies out there, whomever's listening to this, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Kyle, go ahead.
Yeah, Rex Burkhead. I mean, not like what are you putting on like when you put him there? Are you basically saying like he could be a starter, or are you saying he could be a guy you pick up week to week?
You asking me that question?
Yeah, you put him on there as in like,
Well, what the heck? Why'd you put your name? Because I was going to talk about him.
well, yeah. I just that's what I'm asking you. I wanted you to say what you want to say about
Oh,
him first.
well, I mean, here's the thing: is that he had a good week this week, right? 13 touches for 98 yards and 3 touchdowns. But you also have to understand one thing: James White didn't play, so I think that
Yeah,
people might overreact and be chasing points because James White didn't play. This backfield
yeah.
going forward is going to be like,
That's what I was just about to
especially
say.
because Damian Harris is probably going to be coming off of off of IR soon. So now you have somebody else being thrown into the mix along with James White, who hasn't played the past 2 weeks.
And that's not
Don't
a
overreact to
cowbell.
this.
It's not a cowbell type of running back core. Like
Don't forget
No.
their
Bill
other running
Belichick
back,
is.
Cam Newton.
That's a.
Yeah, exactly. Which I'm
That's true
surprised. I
too.
can't believe he didn't score a touchdown this week. My
Right.
God, that pisses me off.
God, he had 10 points. That's all I got with him. Unreal. I could have played Stafford, got 7 more, and I would have won. Anyways, yeah, no, I was just gonna say that. That was gonna say, and that's what I also was gonna say is look for James White this upcoming week or the following. He is probably gonna have a killer week because he's gonna be motivated. It's unfortunate what happened to him, and prayers to his family, but he's gonna be somebody who's gonna be eager to get back on the field and just tear it up because I mean, hey, he's a Super Bowl, he's a veteran, Super Bowl winner, so he knows how to do it. He knows how to win, and the Patriots do too. So he could be a guy in these upcoming weeks. You need a running back, maybe bye week for one of your running backs or flex guys. You're short on him, pick him up.
Yeah, I agree. And the biggest thing is that remember, last week I said this. Each week, make sure if you don't want to set your alarm as early as I do at 3:30, 4:30 in the morning, right? Whatever, you don't got to do that. But first thing you do when you wake up, check the waiver or don't check not the waivers, but the free agents. See who is dropped, see who these people dropped. And if you have a league that well, most of the time they go back on waivers, but sometimes guys wake up, pick up a guy that wasn't on waivers, and then they drop them, and then that person doesn't go on waivers. Just always be checking because you don't know who gets dropped. Some of these people make stupid decisions. Like, let's be honest, you have that idiot in your league. I mean, we have Hoover, So if no, I'm just kidding, Hoover. If you're listening, which you're probably not, so screw you. But if you have those people in the league, I mean, go and pick up the guys that they drop. Make sure that some of these guys that shouldn't be dropped aren't getting dropped, and you're scooping them up. So always be always be checking that stuff out. And one last thing I want to say, one last pro tip: Thursday night, okay, you got Chris Carson, you got or not Thursday night. Oh my God, never mind. Disregard what I was about to say. But on Thursday nights, if there's a good team that's playing, go pick up their backup running back on Thursday night. That way, in case the starter gets hurt, at least you have that guy that's already picked up. And if he doesn't get hurt, you can drop him, right? So it doesn't hurt anything. Let's wrap this up. We'll have another show here on Wednesday night. We're gonna go ahead and we'll have that up first thing Thursday morning. Maybe get another one in here. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We got a big debate going on tomorrow night. Make sure you all go out there and vote. Not saying who for. Just go out and vote. Make a difference. Got a big debate coming on tomorrow night. Make sure you guys go and watch that. So we'll probably have one on Wednesday because we'll probably watch the debate here. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the content. Remember, if you did, which obviously you did, you're still listening. Thanks. It means a lot. Make sure you go and hit that like and subscribe button. Leave a comment below. Maybe we missed something that you got some advice for. Maybe some big pickup that you think is being underappreciated. Just leave a comment below. Let us know. Without without anything else from you, Kyle? I think Giggs he left. Well, I think he just I don't know what happened. I don't know
No,
if
just
whatever he's using died.
stock up on the entire Steelers team. They're going to go to the Super Bowl, so just draft every player on their offense, and there's your entire fantasy team. Super Bowl, fantasy
Agreed.
championship. Go Steelers. No, I'm just kidding. But see you guys Thursday. Enjoy the new edits. Coming to you from your boy Kyle after Kevin got fired. I took his job. Sorry, Kevin. You got to do your job right. You can't be messing up.